Hello and welcome back to Codemaster. I am so glad you are here today because we are going to talk about something really important in programming, which is stacks. Stacks are basic but super powerful data structure that you will see everywhere from coding interviews to real world applications. Today we will break down stacks, show you how they work and give you clear examples of how to use them. By the end of this video, you will understand how stacks work and be ready for our next video where we will tackle stack problems in Python. First thing first, what exactly is a stack? Simply put, a stack is a data structure that follows the rule of LIFO, which means last in, first out. Imagine you have a stack of plates or books. When you put new plates on the stack, they go on top. To remove one, you take the top one first, not the ones at the bottom. That's exactly how stacks work in programming. Simple, right? Let's take a look at the main features of stack. First is, as we said earlier, LIFO, which means the last item you add is the first one to be removed. Next one is limited access. You can only access the item at the top, not the ones underneath. Next is dynamic or fixed size. Depending on how you use it, a stack can grow or shrink in size. These features make stacks really useful for certain tasks. Stacks have some key operations that help us work with them. Here are the most important ones. First one is push. Add an element to the top of the stack. The second one is pop method, which remove the top item. Next one is peek, where we look at the top item without removing it. Next is empty. Check if the stack is empty. The next one is size. Find out how many items are in the stack. Once you know this, you are ready to start using stacks in your code. Let's start with the push operation. This is when we add a new item to the top of the stack. For example, if the stack contains an element like 10, 20, 30, and if we push 40 to it, the new stack will contain 10, 20, 30, and 40. So now 40 is at the top. So when we perform the pop operation, 40 will be the first to come off. Next, the pop operation. This is when we remove the top item from the stack. For example, if we have stack like this 10, 20 and 30, if we pop, we remove 30. So the stack becomes 10, 20. Keep in mind, if you try to pop from an empty stack, you will get an error. This is called stack underflow. The peek operation let us check the top item without removing it. For example, if the stack contains 10, 20 and 30, by using the peek operation, it will return 30, but the stack stays the same. It's useful when you want to see what's on top without changing the stack. Next is empty operation. This checks if the stack is empty. So it will return true if the stack has no elements, otherwise it will return false. For example, if the stack contains elements such as 10, 20 and 30, it is not empty, so it will return false. And if a stack containing no elements and if we use is empty, it will return true since the stack is empty. So you might be wondering, where do we use stacks in real life? Well, here are some examples. Function calls. When a function calls another function, it's like stacking them up in a certain order. Undo or redo. Ever used undo in a text editor? It uses stack to remember your actions. Expression evaluation. Stacks helps in evaluating expression like math problems. Backtracking. In games and puzzles, stacks are used to remember past steps. So stacks are used all over the place. So this is the example for push and pop. We start the stack at empty. So when we push 10, the stack will become 10. When we push 20, the stack will become 10 and 20. And when we pop the element at the last, the 20 will be removed and the stack will contain 10. So if the stack contains elements such as 10, 20 and 30, by using the peek method, we can get the top element, which is 30. So now let's see how to work with stacks. So Python makes it easy to implement stacks with list. Here's how. First we initialize the stack of empty list. then we append 10 to it, which means we will push 10 to the stack. Then we append 20, which will push 20 to the stack. In pop operation, using the pop method, we can pop the top element from the stack. For example, since in the previous example, we appended 10 and 20 to the stack, when we pop, the top element, which is 20, will be popped from the stack. Stacks are amazing, but like everything, they have their pros and cons. So some advantages are it is easy to implement, fast operations like adding or removing items is quick, great for memory management. So some disadvantages are you can only access the top item. Let's quickly go over what we have covered. We learned the stack follow the LIFO principle. We explored key operations like push, pop and peek. We saw real world uses of stacks and how to implement them in Python. With this knowledge, you are well on your way to understand stacks and how to use them in your programs. Thank you so much for watching today's video on stacks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Codemaster for more fun and simple coding tutorials. Also, in our next video, we are going to solve some awesome stack problems in Python, where we will tackle challenges like reversing strings, solving balanced parentheses, and more. If you have any questions or suggestions, just drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, happy coding.